I need to make sure that I acknowledge the most important person in the crowd, Principal Muriel Summers. We've come onto her grounds, and let me just tell you, I know that the key, and with all due regard, Mr. Superintendent, Dr. Superintendent, the principal is the person that makes it happen. I'm the father of 3 Durham Public Schools, as it happens, graduates, and every principal that I've encountered has been among the best at running on a log that you've ever seen in your life. But anyway, thank you for all the work you do every day. We also have today Colonel Gray of the State Highway Patrol and Dr. Jim Merrill, Superintendent of Wake County Public Schools, with us, and appreciate y'all being here. Next week, 1.5 million students will be returning to school across the state. A large number of them will be in Wake County. It's North Carolina's largest school district, 16th largest in the nation, and of course year-round schools have been underway, and so this is not a new topic for anybody, but it's a current issue already for the year-round schools. We also will end up with 14,000 school buses rolling across the state. It frankly surprised me at that number. It's more even than the number of bridges we have to worry about, but it's going to be 14,000 children, or buses with children going to and from school, along with all the children who are able to walk and bike to school. And a critical part of this equation is young drivers who are going to be perhaps driving to school for the first time. And so that's a community that we need to make sure we address as well. There is no choice in this. We have to ensure that young people, in fact all people, but especially our young people, are safe on the highways and on the roads as they go back and forth to school, and whether they're going as pedestrians or passengers in any conveyance. We need to make sure that we have drivers, parents, and students aware of the steps we need to take to protect school-age children and continue to work together to help prevent any other tragedies. I'd like to thank Colonel Gray, first of all, Colonel, and all of the members of the Highway Patrol and all our law enforcement folks for the hard work they do every day to protect us. It's a challenging task, and I know that they want to be involved in protecting us and not in coming to investigate problems that have happened, accidents that have happened, and they're doing everything they can to remind us that we need to take preemptive steps to avoid those accidents. Coincidentally, this week is our annual Highway Safety Symposium in Concord. It's happening on a delayed basis this year because of an earlier snow event, but it brings together people from a lot of different perspectives on the idea of highway safety. A lot of folks from local law enforcement, a lot of people who are there to help those professionals do their jobs. And the idea of being able to get these people together and be able to talk about ways that they can successfully deal with the challenges is a part of the solution. Our best efforts to date have not been sufficient. Safety of other school children is critical, and unfortunately, we only have to look back to last year for Wake County, when during the first month, a student was hit and killed while waiting for a school bus, and 2 teens were killed in crashes on their way to school in the first month. In addition, there were 7 North Carolina students that were hit and injured crossing the street to try to get to their school bus or at the bus stop during this last school year. Since 1999, a total of 13 children in North Carolina have been struck and killed while getting on or off a stopped school bus. These numbers don't include all the near misses that happen, and all of us that have driven, and in fact all of us that have walked, have experienced that near miss, and that's just luck, and we can't count on luck. We need to avoid near misses because they're going to inevitably result in tragedy. It's imperative that everyone obey traffic laws, drive slowly and safely, especially in school zones and around bus stops. This is a matter that we need to take as seriously as we do anything in our lives, that there is risk. And the risk is not just to ourselves, but imagine how horrible you would feel if by your inattention or your failure to slow down, you hurt or kill a child. This is a time when you see those warning signs to pay attention. likewise, and I'm maybe hard to believe for one of our guests here today who's in the 5th grade. I remember being in the 5th grade, and I remember how hard it was to focus on what I needed to do to be safe around streets. I remember being surprised by a couple of near misses where a car had to squeal to a halt because I hadn't paid attention about where I was in the street. Parents, we just have to. My 3 children had to listen to me. You need to be on your children about making sure they're aware when they're around a danger, like the street can be. And I want to pause for a moment to give credit to the North Carolina General Assembly. We were one of the first, if not the first, to adopt the graduated driver's license program. Speaking again as the parent of 3 drivers, that was the best thing that I ever had. The ability for me to be able to say to my children, hey, I know you can handle it, but the law says you've got to be home by 9. And likewise, we need to make sure we're clear and that we are absolutely committed, and by the way, demonstrate the right behavior to the fact that under 18, you can't use a cell phone while you're driving. Under 18, it's illegal for you to do that. And we need to be committed as parents to making sure our children know that so that they don't cause an accident or get involved in one. And oh, by the way, the texting while driving is an all ages thing, and all of us need to be modeling good behavior. It's unfortunate that we drive down the road and see as much of that as we do. I think all of the public awareness campaigns need to be reinforced. It would be good if we could all just be good on our own and do the things we know we should do, but enforcement plays a key role in making sure that we remember that we need to be good. And so I'd like to ask Colonel Gray to come forward and offer his thoughts on this occasion.
We're here today in an effort to increase public awareness about the importance of school bus and student driver safety. Over the past few years, we've all heard the tragedy and heartbreak of having children struck and killed as they attempted to board their school buses. As North Carolina law requires, motorists are to come to a complete stop upon meeting a school bus with its lights and stop arm activated. Unfortunately, too often motorists fail to stop, and regardless of the reason, whether it's intentional or unintentional, the statistics show us the consequences can be deadly. In addition to the numbers that Secretary Tennyson provided regarding children getting on and off school buses, here are some additional numbers to consider. 16-year-olds are 3 times more likely to die in a motor vehicle crash than other drivers. In 2014, the Highway Patrol worked crashes that resulted in 9,153 injuries and 113 deaths of young adults between the ages of 16 and 19. Take a moment and reflect on the 113 families that were and still are devastated due to the loss of a teen in a car crash. Statistics show that speeding is still the #1 cause of fatal crashes, but as discussed at length earlier this week at the Governor's Highway Safety Symposium, distracted driving continues to be a prominent problem. It is estimated that 153 billion, that's with a B, text messages are sent each month nationwide. Research has shown that when sending a text message, a driver will take his eyes off the road for approximately 5 seconds. That means if traveling at 55 miles per hour, they will travel the entire length of a football field without looking at the road. It's in those 5 seconds many times that stopped school buses are passed or struck, vehicles run off the roadway, and people get killed or injured. In order to promote safety, the Highway Patrol will continue, as we always do, to provide educational programs to our drivers. We are hoping that education will be enough to ensure better driving habits. But for those who don't heed the educational warnings, we will also increase enforcement in and around our schools and our school buses. However, the Highway Patrol and our partners here today cannot keep everyone safe by ourselves. So I ask the students, parents, and teachers to do the same thing I require of my troopers, to look after each other and keep each other safe. If you see someone's about to make a bad decision when it comes to driving or in life in general, be enough of a friend, a parent, or a role model to step up, speak up, and stop them. The life you save may be your own. In closing, we're asking that everyone rededicate themselves to safe driving and keeping our children safe by paying close attention to the road for stop school buses and our young drivers. Thank you for allowing me to be here and for your support in helping keep everyone safe.